What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios Channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams. It is Saturday, which means that in addition to today's 31 Days of Disney movie, which you just got done seeing, we are now going to take a look at our new release Saturday feature, The Perfect Find, a Netflix original film starring Gabrielle Union, Keith Powers, Gina Torres, Alani Lala Anthony, Aisha Hines, Janet Hubert, D.B. Woodside, Godfrey, and Remy Ma. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, it's Saturday, so it's time for a new release Saturday film. And today we're going to be discussing the Netflix original film, The Perfect Find. And our movie opens 1 year after the 40-year-old Jenna Jones was dumped by Brian, whose 10-year high-profile relationship defined her. Her mother finally kicks her out of her house, so she moves back to New York City and decides to make a career change into the world of beauty journalism. Now, Jenna has to ask her frenemy, Darcy, for a job at Darzine and is offered creative director on a 3-month trial basis. That night, she goes out with two of her close friends and randomly kisses a man 15 years younger than her. The next day at work, the hungover Jenna meets Eric, the same younger man who turns out to be Darcy's son, the company's brand new videographer. Jenna and Eric are then tasked to work together on content for the magazine's subscription relaunch. They agree to keep their hookup between them, and on their first day on the rebranding mission, a visit to the reclusive Greta Blumen is an epic fail. They argue and proceed to not speak each other all weekend. On Monday, they call a truce, and Jenna invites Eric to bring a couple of friends to a dinner that she and her friends are hosting so that she can meet 50-year-old Jimmy. Now, Jimmy is a perpetually single man, and he antagonizes the much younger Eric most of the night. However, Jenna and Eric do get to spend a little bit of time alone together after the others leave. At work the next day, Jenna tells Eric during their conversation that nostalgia for old films inspires her. She suggests that they do a tribute to classic couture called The Perfect Find. They get some designers to come aboard and offer some limited edition pieces to some social media influencers in order to help spread the word. While walking together on the Brooklyn Bridge, with champagne in hand in order to celebrate their campaign, no sooner do the two of them say that they are going to cool it, as they once again end up at her place, engaging in sexual activities. Eric proceeds to tell her about her dad, Otis, who was killed when he was 2. His dream project is to make a film about him. Jenna then proceeds to tell him about her and Brian, who met at college, were both overachievers, and became a power couple. Brian is featured in Forbes magazine, and in the article, he clearly shows that he misses Jenna. The New York Times contacts Darcy in order to feature her as a media mogul for The Perfect Find. The subscriptions surpass 1 million, and when the Times article comes out, its focus is more on Jenna and Eric's work together. After Jenna shows that she's jealous of Eric's ex Madison during a children's party, he leaves angry and ignores her calls and her messages. Arriving at home, Brian is waiting for her as he's grieving his mother's passing. So Jenna offers to drive him home, which Eric sees. Brian tries to get her to come in, but she politely declines. Eric doesn't come into work the next day and is editing at home. So Jenna sneaks up to see him in Darcy's penthouse. They make up, but then Darcy catches them post coitus. Jenna gets fired, and Eric doesn't defend their relationship. He moves into his own apartment and begins to work on his own film. After New Year's, Jenna finally convinces Eric to meet her in a cafe. She's now teaching a fashion in film course at Columbia University, and he's making the film on Otis thanks to a generous grant. When Jenna shows him his first sonogram, he gets angry and leaves. Sometime later, Darcy invites herself into Jenna's apartment and announces that they are now a family. See, her parents disowned her, so she alone raised Eric. He then joins Jenna at her next obstetrician appointment, and they attend the Darzine Gala together as our movie comes to its close. Let me first off say I apologize if it seems like my synopsis was kind of all over the place. The wiki page that I copied and kind of tried to reword the synopsis from wasn't written very well, if I'm being frank, but there wasn't a whole lot I could do to improve it because I'm not the greatest writer when it comes to things, if I'm being 100% honest with y'all. So I did what I could, but if it feels like there's things that didn't make a whole lot of sense, or if it feels like there's things missing, there very well could be, and I apologize for that. That being said, The Perfect Find is a movie that I added to my new release Saturday schedule simply because it was on streaming and it was going to be free. You know, it's summertime. I'm not working a whole heck of a lot because the kids are home from school. So there needs to be a parental figure here sometimes. Doesn't have to be here all the time, but sometimes. So it's allowing me to do this 31-day month, but at the same time, like I'm not out hitting my 9 to 5, if you will, on a regular basis. So I don't have the money to go see a whole lot of movies in theater. I've got to try and find more streaming original movies. So enter The Perfect Find. I was intrigued by some of the cast. Gabrielle Union. Janet Huber plays her mom, the original Aunt Viv from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The young man who plays Eric played Tyree, Dr. Dre's brother in Straight Outta Compton. You've got Godfrey, popular comedian in the early to mid 2000s. Remy Ma. You know, the cast listing, okay, give this a try. It's free. It was your typical rom-com, if we're being honest. But it wasn't horrible. It intrigued me. It kept my interest. It kept me focused. I I enjoyed it, much like I enjoy pretty much any romantic comedy. Like they may not be my bread and butter, my cup of tea, but I still enjoy more of them than I don't. I just there was something about this movie that had that charm that's definitely required to keep at least my interest, and I'm willing to assume most guys' interests when it comes to rom-coms. There was just something there. I thought the chemistry was really good between our two leads. And then you factor in the love-hate relationship between Jenna and Darcy, and I thought that brings a nice little dynamic too. I maybe would have waited just a little bit longer for the big reveal that Darcy is Eric's mom. But considering it was only a 90-minute film, like got to hit the beats as quick as you can in some of these. You can't draw some of the beats out. You figure that as the movie is starting, she's getting thrown out of her mom's house. She's moving back to New York. She's going to try and get this job. So you almost immediately have to pull that trigger if Eric is in fact going to be working at Darzine magazine. If they had waited a little bit longer, maybe to introduce him as the videographer, then they could have waited to pull that trigger. But again, how long do you wait? So that was my only point of contention. But overall, I thought it was well done. I thought it was cute. I thought that the chemistry was definitely there between Jenna and Eric. And if you're fans of any of these people, again, Gabrielle Union, Janet Huber, Godfrey, Remy Ma, then check this movie out. I think you'll enjoy it. When it comes to my rating for this, I'm going to give it a nice little 3.5 out of 5 stars. I contemplated going 3, but I felt like that was too low. I feel like 4 is too high, so 3.5 out of 5 I feel is a nice little middle point there. What do you guys think? Those of you that have seen The Perfect Find, let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. And let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in later on this evening, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, and across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media, as it's time once again to turn into the Saturday night shenanigans that are Open Mic Night. Myself, the Simple Man Noah Foster, the Heeb Man James Hebert, the West Coast Professor himself, Jeff Meacham, will all be in attendance to discuss the week in professional wrestling. We'll also have any of the regulars from the multiverse of media that decide that they want to enter the club, step up to the microphone, and engage us in the world of pro wrestling will be joining us. Will Noah Foster have to sing another song? Your super chats will determine that. So if you want to hear it, you're going to have to pay up for it. Plus, we are still looking for another contestant for our upcoming game show night in 2 weeks. So if you would like to participate in that, super chat. It's as simple as that. And then tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, it'll be another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And it's back to our 31 Days of Disney as we take a look at Home on the Range, featuring the voice talents of Roseanne Barr, Dame Judi Dench, Jennifer Tilly, Cuba Gooding Jr., Randy Quaid, Charles Dennis, Charles Hayde, Steve Buscemi, and Patrick Warburton. You don't want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, and across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media. Open Mic Night, Home on the Range, and we still have so much more in store for you as we continue our 31 days of Disney. Again, you don't want to miss any of it, so make sure you smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed, make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Stout Boy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, pay-per-view PLE watch-along coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of Netflix original movies, fans of romantic comedies, fans of Gabrielle Union or Remy Ma or Janet Huber, fans of Godfrey, the comedian, anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content in this video. Share it with them, as it's the only way we're going to keep my visibility up in YouTube's algorithms now that we are in fact a monetized channel right here on the platform. Thank you once again to everybody out there who joined me and tuned in this afternoon. It means so much more to me than you guys will ever know. And I will see you guys next time.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.